Hello friends, in my previous video we have seen how we can add the request and response methods and how we can call those methods in step definition file. Today I am going to show you how we can pass test data to specflow feature and step definition in .NET. So now I'm creating in one more scenario, and that will be the scenario outline. Get user information using user ID. So it means that we will pass user ID as a parameter. So given I have an endpoint slash user information, when I call get method to get user information using user ID. And user ID will be passed through the parameter. Then I will get the user information. So how this user ID we will pass? So to passing this user ID, we will add one more keyword, that is example user info. So this example basically is always be required when we will use scenario outline. So we will pass user ID and the test data user 1001. So that will be a test data or value for the user ID. Now we can generate the step definition methods. So just right click on when and then method and generate. Copy to these methods and paste on the step file. So when you paste this, you will see that there is one parameter is already added in the method. So we will change this parameter type is string because we are passing a string and user ID. Now we need to create one method in REST API helper. Create method and we will pass the user ID. So it says that no overload method is available, so we will create one method in REST API helper class. So go to the REST API helper class, create one method with the same name, that is create request, with one parameter. So it means that we are just overloading the create request method. Public static REST request create request in the parameter string user ID. Now if you see in previous method create request, we haven't passed any parameters. So in this method we need a resource, so we will just create one variable resource equals to user id, and this request resource will be passed to the rest request. So rest request new request and resource comma get method. And then we will copy the header and return rest request. So now this method is ready to use in when part. And in then we just need to call the get response method, so we will get the response. Now we just going to build this project. So the test case will be added to the test explorer. So it's built successfully. So if you see in the text explorer, it shows user information using user id. If you want to comment anything on the feature, you need to use hash. So I'm just commenting the actual endpoint API endpoint, that is http colon slash slash my domain.com slash user information slash user id. Now we will see how we can create different methods, request methods with the different parameters. So just go to the REST API helper class. Since this request create request method is having only one parameter for the given API, https colon slash slash mydomain.com/user information/user ID. Now we have created new API, that is http colon slash slash mydomain.com/user information/user ID slash user information sorry account information ampersand account number equals to account number. So how we will create this endpoint with the REST request. So again we just need to create one more overload method, that is create request. So public static REST request create request and a string user ID as a parameter and account number. Since the account number will be a number, so we are using as a long. So again variable, we will declare one variable resource where we can concat user ID plus slash account information question mark account equal to account number. And we will pass account number in parenthesis bracket. So how this account number will be passed? So we need REST request dot new REST request, and we will pass resource comma method dot get. And then we need to add one parameter, that is REST request dot add parameter. It will have three parameters. One is account number, so we will put account number in the quotes account number slash, we will pass the account number which is coming from the step definition, comma parameter type. So what type of this parameter will be? So we actually using as a URL segment, and then we will add a REST request dot header to get the response in JSON format. So now this method is complete. So I have added one more test scenario in feature file, that is the same which we have create one request method using user id and account number as a parameter. So the scenario will be the get user account information using user id and account number. Given I have a endpoint user information, when I call a get method for user account information using user id and account number, so it will give the user in account information, and we will pass two parameter, that is user id user 1001 and account number. Now how we can call the method? So we already have written this REST API helper.create method, and we will pass user ID and account number. So now I'm just going to put a breakpoint and debug this test case. So we will see how it will create the API URL. So just right click and debug it. So in this way you can add as many as methods for different parameters for different API endpoints. So this REST API helper will allow you to create request methods with different parameters. Now you can see we will go to the create method, create a request method. So you will see the user ID and account number will be passed. So you can see the request, just mouse over on this and you will find that what detail is coming in the REST request. So you can see the parameter, second parameter is also added, that is account number equals to 123456789. Now we will see the response. So you can see response URI is the same which we are expecting. that is mydomain.com/user information slash user slash account information, and account equals to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So this is how we can add more methods for, and we can create multiple or different API URLs using this REST API helper class. So we have seen how we can create a project, how we can add a specflow, NUnit, reshup, DLLs. Then we have seen how we can add feature files and step files, how we can write the test cases in the feature file, how we can create a method which is coming from the request and response, and how we can create multiple or different URLs, API URLs. To get more videos, please subscribe my YouTube channel, Automation Tech Group. Thank you so much.